Hey everyone, it's Aaron Schechter from 365shaves.com. I wanted to actually make a video tonight, something I haven't done in quite some time, and I usually would be in the bathroom and I'd be shaving and I'd have my razor out and I'd be, lathering up and whipping that razor around and trying to, look really neat, doing a nice shave. But I figured I'd like to talk to you a little bit tonight about some really interesting things I've just noticed. I've noticed them over the years, but it's really starting as I'm getting older. You start to slow down a little bit. I'm almost 40 years old, and you start to slow down. And I'm reading a lot of the posts from the younger generation of wet shavers, which I think are awesome. And I'm seeing a lot of this soap is no good or that soap is no good. And hey, that's great. And I love that everyone has an opinion, and that's awesome. And I would never, ever in a million years take that away from anyone. And the same token, I would hope that no one would want to take that opinion away from me. So, that being said, I almost made a fatal flaw today. I went and I bought one of the newer soaps that have come out on the scene. It's a soap by a really great guy, very nice guy. I love talking to him. Guy by the name of Chris Cullen. He owns and operates a company called Catie's Bubbles, and Chris is just a very nice guy. Just in general, just as a very general statement, is a very nice guy. I enjoy talking with them. We both happen to stay up very late at night and have some really great conversations. And the soap that I used for the first time, the first soap of his I bought, and I talked to him as he was setting up his website and getting ready to go. And I said to him, what should I try? And he gave me a couple suggestions, and I bought a few of his soaps, a few of his body soaps, a few of his shaving soaps. And I said, for my inaugural shave, I'm going to try MentaTerrosa, which basically means Menta, means mint, Terrosa, Terrosa. It's my best Italian accent, which just means earth. So, mint earth, earthy mint. If you're thinking anything along the lines of shaving, of Yeti snot or frostbite, way off key. Completely different animal. This is like spearmint gum. That's the best way I could describe this. If you like Wrigley spearmint gum, just the scent of it, it smells like a mint gum is what it smells like. Now, mint by its very nature, just mint by its nature is going to have a little bit of a cooling sensation. This is a soft soap. It did not come like this. It actually came wrapped in a wrapper, a lot like the Tiki Bar soaps. I will post a picture of it along with this video. And what it is that it's a crope, okay, which means that it has a combination of, and I'm not looking at the ingredient list, but it is a combination of stearic acid, water, mango butter, palm kernel oil, potassium hydroxide. That's an important one, okay? That's right there. That's lye, okay? Just FYI. Potassium hydroxide is lye. Sodium hydroxide, also lye. What that means is that this is a crope. It's a combination of potassium and sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide makes a hard soap, whereas potassium hydroxide makes a soft soap. So a combination of the two makes a crope. It makes it somewhat in between. So this MentaTerrosa soap was a semi-hard soap that I formed into by hand into this container. Okay. To finish off this, he has grapeseed oil, which is a great addition. Castor oil, which is that's a pretty common one to put in most soaps. Peppermint oil, which it's really funny that I said spearmint, but it's actually peppermint oil. Tea tree oil, which is actually I know a little bit about, which is also known as Melaleuca alternifolia, which has antiseptic properties. It's very good for the skin. It's very good for acne, clearing up blemishes. Excellent oil to have in a soap, period, in general. done. Patchouli oil, which now that I'm actually smelling it, I could smell a little bit of that patchouli in there. You know, a little bit funny. Now that I read it, you know, it's kind of funny how the mind, once you read it, you actually can smell a little bit. But that's MentaTerrosa. And in my late night conversation, probably around 3 a.m. here on the East Coast, I'm talking to Chris, and this is what I love about artisan soaps and artisan in general. As I said, you know, another way I could connect with you, Chris, and another way I connect with Catie's Bubbles is, what kind of brush would you recommend that I use with your soap? I can't go and ask one of like the 3Ts, what brush should I use with your soap, or which razor should I use, or which blade. You know, I could actually have a conversation with the maker, and I think it might have come across a little bit weird to Chris. It might be coming across a little bit weird to everyone watching this. But I really enjoy having that one-on-one relationship with the artisan that made this soap, which just based on smell alone, I thought was like a 10 out of 10. It just smelled amazing to me. If you're into that minty, earthy smell, you have to like that type of scent. If you don't like that scent, you're not going to like this. If you like that really highly fragranced cologne type of younger scent, what I call young clubbing scent, you're not going to like a spearmint or a peppermint patchouli type of scent soap. Just the way it is. So in talking to Chris, he had told me that, you know, his you know, big guns, so to speak, is his Muley Black Fiber. He really likes his synthetic. So I said, well, the only one I really have is I have this Plisson. I have Plisson synthetic, which is extremely soft. Oh my God, this thing is like, I love this thing. It is so soft. It is a beautiful, beautiful brush. Highly recommend this brush right here for creams. It can work very well with soaps. I actually found that it didn't work as well as I had hoped with the MentaTerrosa soap. It just didn't. Did it, excuse me, create a lather? Absolutely. Did I shave with it? Absolutely. I actually did my entire shave with this brush, but it did not create the lather that I knew. I just had a gut feeling that this soap had so much more to offer than what I was feeling and seeing, which was a very thin lather, a little bit on the pasty side, really not a lot of that explosive lather that, like, for example, and I hate to compare another artisan to another artisan, but like that I see with, like, let's say, for example, Synergy. Synergy by Douglas Smythe is known for that explosive lather that is just like falling on the floor. It didn't do that. And I just knew that this soap had it in it. It's just, I felt it. So I started going through my experimentation, and for all these years, I've saved this Vanderhagen bowl, cheap little bowl that came with the kit, and I soak my brushes. That's all that this bowl is ever used for, except the other day I actually used it for trying the bowl lather, which didn't go too well for me. I use it to soak, you know, for water, you know, just to soak it. So next I moved over to my boar brush, over to a Smog 830, and I soaked it for a while, and after a while, you know, whipped it up, lathered, and it was better. It was a lot better, actually. And I said, this is the proof I've been waiting for, that the MentaTerrosa soap, there's more to it than just what the synthetic was capable of doing. Now, that's not to say that the Muley Black Fiber, or let's say you have another synthetic brush, that's not to say that another one doesn't have more backbone and more bite than the Plisson does. This is a very soft brush. I just think that it just did not pick up a lot of soap, and I think that was part of the problem. Now, finally, to round off the end, I said, let me try this with Badger now. So I went and I grabbed one of my favorite brushes, which is an Edwin Jagger. I actually raffled off this, not this Edwin Jagger, this is obviously mine, but this exact same model Edwin Jagger, and I believe it was Brian Davis who actually won it. And I said, let me go out there with the best Badger. really hydrate it good. You know, get that Van der Hagen bowl, hydrate it good, you know, for a good 3-5 minutes. Get in there, pop open that, you know, Catie's Bubbles. Now that everything's really hydrated, get in there, whip that around, get it, and let me tell you, in a couple minutes, face lathering it, I had so much. I mean, I have pictures. There will be pictures posted along with this video. This is like a video. How can I put it? An additional portion of tonight's shave of the day / review of Catie's Bubbles MentaTerrosa soap, along with the written portion. I had so much soap and so much cushiony gliding lather. It was unbelievable using Badger. So I'm going to go back to where I started now. I had said that last night. I was up really late last night. I wasn't feeling so hot yesterday. Still not feeling so great today. I was talking to a bunch of people last night, a lot younger than myself, and they were just saying, you know, oh, well, you know, Mitchell's wool fat, oh, that's overrated and overblown. And I said, you know, I like it. I like it, but I respect that you don't like it. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to speak on behalf of my brush. My Plasone synthetic, it didn't like the MentaTerrosa too much. My Smoke 830 liked it a little bit more. My Edwin Jagger Best Badger absolutely loved it. Now, that's once again not to say that your mileage may not vary and you might not get different results with a different brush with this soap, or different water, or a little bit more patience, or if you have a better technique than I do, it's very possible you'll get a different result. But at the end of the day, I found with this soap that a Badger brush that was well hydrated, I maybe loaded maybe for about 45 seconds, I would say, which is for me a pretty long loading. I only usually load for maybe around 20 to 30 seconds. About 45 seconds, but it paid off tenfold because I had such a luxurious, creamy, rich, thick lather. I mean, I had already done the 3 passes with the synthetic. I actually went back and I did a 4th pass, which I never do. As you could tell, I have zero irritation anywhere on my face. I had no cuts, no weepers. Super glide, great scent, very protective lather. In the future, I am going to be using a Badger brush with this soap. I learned something. It's all about the learning experience. It's not about the quick, fast, immediate satisfaction and gratification. It's about the journey of wet shaving and learning what works and what doesn't. It's not about the fast and immediate payoff. It's about what really works in the end. So I'm going to let this video go at this point, but I just wanted this to be a little supplemental to what I'm going to write. And just verbally, if I was to, out of a 1 out of a 10, as an overall rating, I would probably give this soap somewhere right around the 8.5 mark. Right around 8.5, and that was on the first use. Keep that in mind. I've only used this soap 1 time, so my opinion may change. I don't see it going down from 8.5 though. It's just right tools to do the right job. And I will go into more details in the review itself, but at least an 8.5 with the Badger brush. I love the soap. Chris, great job. I also want to really quickly say awesome job on your body bars. I'm using the Karmic Spa bar right now. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome body bars. I do cold process body soaps. These are obviously hot processed body soaps. I'm not going to get into soap making 101 right now, but for a hot processed body bar, absolutely loved it. It completely smoothed out that salt, completely smoothed out now, and the exfoliating properties of the salt are, have pretty much mellowed out and is smoothed out. But that's something completely different. I'm going off on a tangent now, so let's stick to where we're at. MentaTerrosa. 8.5 out of 10, first use out the gate using a Badger brush. Way to go. Okay? On that note, everyone, get your shaves on. Stick with us, 365shaves.com, and I will be talking to you all soon, okay? Thanks a lot. Have a great night, everyone.